Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the exact moment artificial intelligence broke out of our screens and became a highly specialized physical piece of our infrastructure. But before we map out how this tech is reshaping the real world, a quick reminder. Subscribe to AI Vanguard AI to stay at the cutting edge of industrial AI.
We're zeroing in on a very specific window, August 2026. The data we're seeing from this week is frankly a massive tipping point. It's the moment AI definitively stopped just being this neat general-purpose chatbot you play with and evolved into a tangible ecosystem that's actually physically altering the world around us.
So, here's our AI reality stack for today. 1. The cyber arms race. 2. Powering the AI grid. 3. Humanoids hit the factory. And 4. Regulating the ecosystem.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the cyber arms race.
Think of OpenAI's new clearance system kind of like a Level 4 biohazard lab. It's fascinating. On the left, we've got Daybreak Blue. This is for verified users accessing the GPT 5.6 model, but with really tight defensive safeguards in place. But then, on the right, that's Daybreak Red. Hidden behind some intensely strict vetting, this tier gives you access to GPT 5.6 Cyber. And this model? It's explicitly trained for one highly sensitive application: exploit validation and vulnerability research.
And the performance gap here is just absolutely wild. Check this out. When you give them advanced multi-step cybersecurity instructions, the public GPT 5.6 base model only completes them about 1.5% of the time. The blue tier, it hits 2%. But that specialized cyber model, it executes those exact same instructions with a staggering 95% success rate. I mean, it literally leaves the public models completely in the dust. To see how this is applied in the real world, researchers gave the red tier model a highly detailed instruction: find zero-day flaws hidden within the millions of lines of code that make up Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. The application of this new technology is incredible. The AI systematically measured the memory allocation processes, checking byte-level data, and successfully found a skip safety check, allowing a memory escape. This resulted in a brand new, critical patch known as CVE 2026-15903. Because these capabilities are just so potent, the rules of engagement are totally changing. By September 2026, OpenAI is actually mandating physical hardware security keys for all Daybreak users. It's a hard physical barrier. Because, let's be real, you want to ensure a model with a 95% exploit success rate doesn't just fall into the wrong hands.
Moving on to Section 2, powering the AI grid.
So, you obviously can't run these insanely demanding models without massive physical power. That's why Anthropic isn't just renting server space anymore. They've teamed up with Macquarie and GIC to launch Theseus infrastructure. Macquarie and GIC are stepping up to fund the equity to build purpose-built U.S. data centers at an unprecedented physical scale. They are quite literally building the physical houses for future AI.
And here is the true financial and physical weight of this technology. Anthropic is legally pledging to pay 100% of the cost to upgrade local power grids. On top of that, they're guaranteeing they'll cover any spike in consumer electricity prices caused by their data centers. This really shows us that AI is no longer just a software constraint, it's become a very real, measurable utility constraint.
Which brings us to Section 3, Humanoids hit the factory.
So, if AI is straining our power grids, how is it actually moving around in the physical world? Just take a second to process this number: 15,000. That is the cumulative unit production of humanoid robots by the company Agibot as of August 2026. We are way past lab prototypes here. This is measurable, scaled mass production. Agibot has officially moved AI straight onto the factory floor, leading global shipments in the first half of the year. And in their current real-world application, these humanoids are executing highly complex instructions. They're out there conducting precise quality inspection pilots, taking sub-millimeter measurements on active automotive assembly lines. Alongside rivals like Unitree, they are shifting the whole AI revolution entirely into physical labor.
Finally, let's look at Section 4, regulating the ecosystem.
With all these advancements, how is society actually trying to govern it all? Well, the European Union just dropped a massive Digital Markets Act order, forcing Google to open its Android ecosystem to AI rivals. Now, the key takeaway here is the scope. This is strictly an EU regulation. US Android phones? They're completely unaffected right now.
Take a look at this aggressive timeline. The order hits in July 2026.
By January 2027, Google has to start sharing anonymized search data with competitors, companies like OpenAI. And the hard deadline is July 2027, which is when the next major Android version must grant full, deep access to rival AI assistants.
By that July deadline, companies like OpenAI and Anthropic are going to gain terrifyingly deep system privileges on European phones. We're talking registering their own wake words, taking over the long press home button, and crucially, they get permission to read your live screen content and even execute tasks inside other apps on your behalf. Basically, Google is being forced to hand over the exact same deep integration it currently reserves just for Gemini.
When you step back and look at the entire AI reality stack we've just covered, it's a lot, right? AI is finding zero-day exploits in our browsers, it's forcing the funding of massive new power grids, and it's literally walking into our factories by the tens of thousands. It leaves us with a pretty profound question. If AI is now building our physical infrastructure, who is really programming who?
It is an absolutely fascinating time to watch this space unfold. Subscribe to AI Vanguard AI to stay at the cutting edge of industrial AI. If you found this synthesis valuable, please like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.